Released in the year 2000, Chopper tells the story of Mark Chopper Reed, played by Eric Bana, notorious Melbourne underworld criminal who has a knack for telling a good yarn. The movie focuses on Chopper's time at Pentridge Prison in 1978, where he starts his feud with fellow criminal Jimmy Luffnan, where in order to escape the block and the many enemies that are trying to kill him, Chopper has another inmate remove his ears. Where the story then focuses on Chopper's release in 1986, in which his feud with Jimmy continues on the streets of Melbourne, where we explore the ruthless, dangerous criminal world of Chopper in this crime drama which may or may not be based on true events, but regardless has gone on to be considered as an Australian classic. So today we are going to explore the Chopper movie, which made a star out of Eric Bana. So, 10 things, let's check it out, I'm all ears.
How would you describe yourself now?
Just a bloke. Just a good bloke down on his luck.
Okay then.
Number 10, from gangland to writer. Of course, the Chopper movie is based on the real-life criminal turned author Mark Chopper Reed, who grew up on the tough streets of Melbourne, namely Collingwood and Fitzroy. In his younger years, Chopper was considered a violent street gang member who got involved in several illegal activities such as arson, kidnapping, robbery, and serious assault, as well as going in and out of prison most of his life. However, as the 90s took off is when Chopper turned his attention to writing books, which are described as being semi-autobiographical, with his first book, Chopper from the Inside, being published in 1991, which over the years would see the release of a further 11 books. After the release of his books, Chopper had become something of a celebrity in the public zeitgeist, as people seemed to gravitate to his unique quirks and larger-than-life personality.
You don't have ears like Mickey Mouse, that's for sure. Can you tell us what happened to your ears?
You're getting a bit personal there, aren't you? If I shot you in the kneecap, Renee, we're entering Logie territory.
As well as him being perceived as something of an anti-hero, who back in his days only ever hurt violent criminals. Over the years, though, there have been many questions of authenticity in regards to his novels and stories of the past, as to how much is autobiographical and how much did Chopper actually just make up. We may never learn the full story.
Yep, I'm a crack shot.
Which is where the movie's tagline, "Never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn," comes from, which itself is a play on the old Mark Twain quote, "Never let the truth get in the way of a good story." Number 9, from music videos to movies. So considering the Chopper books were a massive success and the rising popularity of Chopper's notorious public image, it seemed that a movie based on his books was the next big step. Although the Chopper movie is credited to the story being by Chopper himself, the movie was written and directed by Australian filmmaker Andrew Dominik, with Chopper being his first feature film. Prior to directing Chopper, he directed some music videos, including the music video for the Crowded House song Fall at Your Feet in 1991. And after Chopper, his career would continue to go on, as he would go on to direct the Brad Pitt Western movie, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford. Wow, there's a title. As well as Killing Them Softly, and an upcoming movie called Blonde. The script for the Chopper movie focuses on Chopper's conflict with fellow criminal Jimmy Luffnan. The story focuses on Chopper's time at Pentridge Prison in 1978, where Chopper intentionally had his ears cut off in order to be moved into another division, and his release from prison in 1986, where his feud with Jimmy continued on the streets. Number 8, from comedian to Chopper. To many people outside Australia, their introduction to Eric Bana would have probably been Ang Lee's Hulk, the 2003 superhero movie where Banner plays Dr. Bruce Banner, who transforms into the Incredible Hulk when he gets enraged. And failing that, some people's introduction may have been the Ridley Scott war movie Black Hawk Down. However, if you were around in Australia in the mid-90s, you probably would have already known Eric Bana thanks to his performance in the comedy sketch show Full Frontal, which was very popular in its time, where Bana would perform a heap of memorable characters, such as Poiter. Did I say it right? Poiter? Peter? Poiter?
It's Poiter!
But my favourite was the Durr guy.
spreading some dog poo, mate.
And it seems that someone who was a fan of Full Frontal was Chopper Read himself, as he was a fan of Banner and wanted him to be cast as Chopper. At that time, Full Frontal had just finished, and Banner was trying to further his career in a stand-up comedy show called The Eric Banner Live Show. Now, there were several potential choices to play Chopper, including Richard Roxburgh, Ben Mendelsohn, Russell Crowe, and Simon Linden, who would actually go on to play Jimmy. But it was Banner who got the part at the request of the real Chopper. I can remember at the time when it was announced that Banner would be playing Chopper, lots of people were shocked as they just saw him simply as being a comedian. There was this feeling of, what? Eric Banner, that funny man from TV with the mullet wig, is going to play Chopper? But you gotta remember, this was before Eric Banner was a thing, before he proved what a great and talented actor he is. Number 7, Living with Chopper. So the big question was, how was Eric Banner, an otherwise TV comedian, going to be able to transform into Mark Chopper Read, to get under the skin, so to speak, of one of Australia's most feared and brutal criminals? To find his inner Chop Chop, Banner actually visited Chopper's property in Tasmania and lived with him for 2 days along with Chopper's director, in order to learn all of the real Chopper's mannerisms and tics, and generally how he spoke and behaved. A video camera even captured some of Banner's and Chopper's time together, and there's a part of the filming I love where Chopper is using Eric Banner to demonstrate his ears being cut off, all while Banner just nervously looks up and smiles, like he's trying to act like it's a funny joke, but deep down inside he's feeling really awkward, or at least that's what I get from it. And there's another part where Chopper is talking to the director of the movie and is shocked and horrified that it's not going to be released till the year 2000.
You are kidding me. The year 2000?
Year 2000.
The year 2000? Can you believe that?
Which is now 22 years ago. In addition to visiting the real Chopper, Banner also physically prepared himself for the part by eating junk food for 4 weeks straight in order to give himself Chopper's 1986 build. Banner would go on to speak about his time with Chopper, where he said, quote, "So much of his character was performance. But there would just be the occasional quiet moment where you got a glimpse of the level of hurt and the level of damage." Number 6, the difficulty of getting Chopper made. Chopper was actually not an easy movie to get off the ground, thanks to the notorious nature of Mark Chopper Read. Many people wondered if Chopper, a real-life criminal, should even be glorified with a movie, as well as celebrating his life, or be that his made-up stories. One issue the Chopper production would face was financing. Director Andrew Dominic said, quote, "There were times when the movie got shut down because Chopper would go and make a spectacle of himself on television, just when we were about to go and try and get finance." There was also legal issues, as some of the real-life people in the script objected to being in the movie. According to Jimmy Luffman actor Simon Linden, some of the producers may have even gotten death threats. Eric Banner himself said that he felt that Chopper was a project that could have just not been made, and it was also suggested that investors were scared and put off by the movie. Furthermore, when Banner was cast in the role, some sales investors pulled out, as they wanted an experienced actor in the part. So really the whole process of trying to get the movie off the ground was chaos. Thankfully, Chopper was eventually able to get financing through the Australian Film Finance Corporation, as well as the newly formed Mushroom Pictures, which was a production company grown from Mushroom Records, which was an Australian record label that had been producing music since the 70s. So because of this, Chopper was able to say hello to the world of cinema.
I'm a bloody freak show. I'm a bloody freak show.
Number 5. Troubles with filming. Once the production for Chopper had started, the problems weren't over. Chopper was mainly filmed around Melbourne, which is my home city, which is pretty cool. However, the production actually wanted to film the jail scenes at the actual Pentridge prison in Victoria, which was a prison that Chopper actually spent time in. During Chopper's early production, the prison was in the process of being closed down, so the filmmakers were negotiating permission to film at the location, and it apparently was quite a struggle to finally get permission to film at the location. Once filming at the location had started, there were then further concerns as the jail scenes were being filmed during winter, and that there were worries that it might rain, and thus the sound of the rain hitting the tin roof would interfere with the recording. Well, luckily the crew had a witch to help out. No, seriously, there was a witch, as the movie's continuity advisor claimed that she was a white witch and could control the rain. And as crazy as it sounds, it never rained during filming, only at night. The movie's shoot was split into two. The movie's first half at the jail block where everything was to look white and sterile, and in the second half of filming with Chopper released from prison, in which for filming everything was overly bright and colourful, almost making it an overabundance of visual stimuli to contrast with the grim featureless jail scenes at the start of the movie. And of course there was a month's gap in between the filming of the two sections of the film, so Eric Bana could eat himself stupid and transform his body into a bigger build. Number 4, the real Chopper had mixed feelings with the movie. Once the Chopper movie was completed, the real Mark Chopper wanted to see it. Director Andrew Dominik had rented out a theatre for himself and Chopper to attend and watch the film, but Chopper didn't really want to do this. Instead, he asked for a videotape of the movie to be sent to him, which it was. After watching, Chopper called Dominik, and although he seemed positive, he was also kind of shocked seeing himself on the screen. He realised that he was kinda crazy, whereas he always saw himself as being normal, although he did still agree that the depiction was accurate. Well, this is according to director Andrew Dominik anyway, in an interview with the Sydney Morning Herald. If this is true, it sounds like the Chopper movie somewhat held up a mirror to the real Chopper, and made him think, oh my god, is this what I'm really like? Over the years, up until Chopper's death in 2013, he often expressed mixed feelings on the movie. His mood and opinions would frequently change. There were times where he would praise it, but there were also times where he would share his dissatisfaction with how he was portrayed in the movie. I can remember watching him on the news in the late 2000s, where he briefly mentioned the Chopper movie and felt that Eric Bana's portrayal was more of a cartoon character and not the real Chopper, or at least something along those lines. Dominik would go on to further say in his Sydney Herald interview that he felt that the movie was good for Chopper because, quote, he was a guy who hadn't spent more than 6 months out of jail since he was 16, and he didn't go back. He further stated that he did care about Chopper as he spent so much time thinking about him. Number 3, original intro music. The opening credits of Chopper starts with establishing shots of the Pentridge prison, while the country song Don't Fence Me In by Frankie Lane plays over the scenery, giving the intro a bleak, somber feel. However, according to IMDb, the original song to be played over the opening sequence was Billy Thorpe's version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, which definitely would have been an interesting choice, and would have been a bleak contrast to the prison block visuals. However, Thorpe was against his song being used over the opening credits sequence, which led the filmmakers to choose Don't Fence Me In instead, as it was felt that the song just worked perfectly over the shots of the prison. Yeah, I think that was serendipitous, as the song does capture the melancholy and desperation of the scenery. Number 2, other on-screen choppers. I can remember after the Chopper movie came out, there were talks among fans as to whether or not there would be more Chopper movies. After all, there were still many Chopper books and tales that could be adapted into movies, but it never happened. However, there have been other depictions of Chopper. The most well-known is a parody of Chopper performed by Australian comedian Heath Franklin for the sketch show The Ronnie Jones Half Hour, where Franklin plays a comical, over-exaggerated version of Chopper, with Chopper in all sorts of bizarre situations like Chopper doing a weather report or Chopper at driving school.
Welcome to Chopper's bloody driving school. In fact, my idea of road safety is not going over a speed hump with a bloody loaded 410 shotgun down your pants.
His sketches are honestly quite funny. Then in 2018, the Australian true crime drama series Underbelly made a 2-part series based on Chopper called Underbelly Files Chopper, which focuses on Chopper's later years, where he would become a famous author in the 90s till his death in 2013. The part was played by Australian New Zealand actor Aaron Jeffrey, who supposedly was even considered to play Chopper for the 2000 movie. And oh boy, do I have mixed feelings on this one. Well, in the first episode, I thought he was great, and managed to do something that no other live-action adaptation was able to do, and that's humanise Chopper and bring vulnerability to him. However, in the second episode, his portrayal just fell apart. For some reason in that episode, he kept talking like this. And I don't know why, but it just got to the stage where it felt more comical than it did serious real-life drama. I like to think that they filmed the second episode first and that Jeffrey just hadn't found his inner Chopper yet, but by the time the first episode was being filmed, he finally got it. But it's kind of jarring going from a great performance in the first episode to a, not so good performance in the second one. Once again, just my opinion. Number 1. Chopper released on the big screen. Chopper was quite a controversial movie when it came out in Australia. After all, this was a movie that many felt was celebrating the antics of Chopper, and many people were questioning if it was the right thing to do, as well as posing other questions like, is this rewarding and influencing crime? According to director Andrew Dominic, the Victorian police urged the public to boycott the Chopper movie, which in turn actually gave it amazing publicity. The movie's box office earnings would be just shy of $4 million, which although doesn't sound like much, is a big deal for an Australian production. And according to IMDb, Chopper was the highest grossing R-rated movie in Australia till The Wolf of Wall Street in 2013. The movie got tons of praise too, mainly for Eric Bana's performance.
What's going on here?
No, she's sweet. Oh, Keithy seems to have done himself a mischief.
With Roger Ebert rewarding Chopper 3 out of 4 stars thanks to Bana's efforts as Chopper, saying, quote, "He has the quality no acting school can teach and few actors can match." Now that's not bad for a guy who started off as a TV comedian on Australian TV.
Hello? Hello? You got your finger in your mouth there, little one.
Whether or not Bana's depiction of Chopper is accurate, he is still brilliant in the role, as he creates such a fascinating presence. You don't know if you're meant to root for this guy, or despise him, or be repulsed by him, or find him funny, or even feel kinda sorry for him, but I guess that's kind of Chopper all over. From the start to finish, Bana has your complete and undivided attention, as he does carry the entire movie. The movie itself has become a cult film and considered an Australian classic, and despite claims that it's glorifying crime and Chopper's life, well, I don't think it does. After all, the movie starts and ends with Chopper in jail, and in many cases the movie does show you the true ugliness of the criminal world. I don't believe the movie Chopper is trying to influence crime, but rather, as the movie's tagline suggests, just tell a good yarn. So that was my look into Chopper. It's a great crime drama movie with a very enjoyable performance by Eric Bana, who at the time was a Hollywood actor just waiting to happen. So I say go check it out. Anyway, I'm Minty, and fingers crossed we get more Chopper movies with Eric Bana. See ya!